Hey guys, Stephen here, Manchester City. You're ridiculous. You're absolutely ridiculous. We've lost against Chelsea. Liverpool won the league. Congratulations to Liverpool. Gritted teeth, but they deserve it, and fair fucks. Before I go into this video, can I say, do me a massive favour and download One for One, the link in the description below. It's a fantastic app, it helps support this channel. All your Manchester City news, all the things you need to know about, and I'm sure there'll be lots of good transfer goodness on there for you as well. So go and download it in the link in the description. You want to put a smile on this little boy's face here. It'd be very, very appreciated, and it's a fantastic app, and you won't regret it, I promise you. Link in the description below. Go and click it now and download it, and I love you all loads. But yeah, Liverpool champions. They deserve it, if we're being honest. They are having the better team. We've been absolutely farcical at times. We've been the masters of our own downfall, I would say. And I think at some point on Twitter, this is the most possibly apt way to sum up our season in one night. Liverpool win the league due to a moment of terrible defensive, due to multiple moments of terrible defensive mix-ups, despite some Kevin De Bruyne brilliance. Is that not our season in a nutshell? Kevin De Bruyne single-handedly trying to save us in the game, but defence undoing all the good work. And I guess it was apt and fitting, and at least looking at the positive side, they can't win it at the Etihad and celebrate in front of us, and I won't be tuning in to watch the Guard of Honour anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But once again, they deserve it. They genuinely do deserve it. I can say that hand on heart. Regardless of what you think of VAR, Liverpool have been a better team than Manchester City this season, and we've made our own problems and shot ourselves in the foot, and now they are champions, and it's hard to be upset about it because it's been so obvious for fucking ages now. Like half a year we've all known this is going to happen. So it's like we've seen it coming so far away that to be surprised by it or be upset by it now would be almost like childish, because like we've got so used to that idea that I'm not even slightly bothered by it happening. I was gutted when it looked like our season was collapsing, but it collapsed in the league a long time ago to the point where I cannot pretend to be upset by it because it's just it's yesterday's news. The manner of defeat tonight was disappointing, of course. It wasn't a good performance. We went for the false nine kind of thing. We had a mixture of De Bruyne, Bernardo and Mahrez kind of floating there, Sterling there as well. And it didn't really work. We kept the ball really well at times, but we looked a little bit toothless going forward. And very easy to defend against. And fair play to Chelsea for keeping us at arm's length. Though, admittedly, the goal was incredibly familiar, basically. Mendy had a mare. He had an absolute mare. Maybe there's some communication problems from Gundogan too. But either way, Mendy should have basically stood up Pulisic, and he would have gone nowhere, but he tried to tackle Pulisic when he didn't need to, and as a result, a very manageable situation ended up in a goal, but that's frustrating. Having said that, I was not expecting the quality of that free kick from De Bruyne to get us back into it. No, we know he can do that, but he just felt so out of the blue. A stunning free kick from De Bruyne got us back into it. Then we should have been 2-1 up with an incredible counter. Who was it? It was rolled out to maybe David Silva. No, it wasn't David Silva. Someone played it to De Bruyne. De Bruyne played it to Mahrez. Mahrez played it to Sterling, and he hit the post. A lot of people said maybe Sterling should have played it across to, was it Mahrez out on the right? Was it Gabriel Jesus? It was one of them. It might be Gabriel Jesus. All I know is that it's easy to say that when you've got a benefit of replays and an overhead camera, but I'm almost certain in that very millisecond at the pace of the game was flying at, I'm almost certain you probably just didn't even see him or didn't even have time to look, and he was bang centre in the goal. He had every right to shoot with a keeper bearing down on him, so I don't blame him for that. He was just a little bit unlucky. We were lucky to not go 2-1 behind twice before that. Mount hit the side netting after Ederson had made a mistake, and then there was a quite remarkable, ridiculously good clearance from Walcott on the line, which is the kind of agility that only an illegal lockdown sex party would afford you. But I made that joke on Twitter, got some good numbers for that. But seriously, Walker, what are you doing, man? That was ridiculous. That should have been a goal. I don't know how he did that. Seriously, the replays make it look better. But anyway, that was just delaying the inevitable until, as if the game wasn't ridiculous enough anyway, we brought on Esteemed for Laporte, and obviously that kind of, that he cleared it terribly. Then there was a huge scramble. Eddie made a double save. Werner blocked it a couple of times. There was a mistake from De Bruyne, I think, on the left, and left it in. But anyway, it turns out Fernandinho handballed on the line, got sent off for it, a penalty, and Chelsea scored. A lot of people saying, why did he bother doing that? You got to bear in mind that happened in like half a second. I don't think he even knew where he was going. He was like right in front of him there, arm's length, and he kicked it. I mean, he just kind of flinched. I don't think it was purely instinctive. Obviously, maybe in a pre-VAR world you'd get away with that, but for what it's worth, I don't think Fernandinho even had time to think about it. It was so reactive that I don't think his brain was even there, and he didn't get away with it, unfortunately. And it was the correct decision. City tried inevitably to get back into it, but it didn't quite happen. It was frustrating, very frustrating. It wasn't a good performance. City did look toothless. I'm kind of glad we got this little experiment out of the way, so to speak, before any games that actually mean anything. I know you may be thinking, it's the Premier League, of course it means something, but it doesn't really, let's be honest. At the moment, we know our fate in the Premier League. We know we will be in the Champions League, or the Champions League spot at least, fingers crossed, will be actually in the Champions League. But we will be in the top four. We're in the Champions League next season in terms of positions-wise. We'll probably finish second. And these are just glorified friendlies now for the cup competitions, for the FA Cup and the Champions League. So I'm kind of glad we used this game, I guess, to get that rustiness out of the way and realise that if we're going to do this false nine thing and not play a striker, it's going to have to be really, really, really finely tuned, because it didn't work at all today. It really didn't work. As much as the football was pretty and nice, it looked like a bunch of midfielders passing it around, and that's exactly what it was. There wasn't the fluidity, there wasn't the cutting edge, there wasn't a focal point. It was almost too fluid. It was like, everyone's kind of floating around, but no one's really committing to being somewhere. And it was very pretty to look at, but essentially ineffective. It was a damn squib of a performance, unfortunately. I'm not going to get too worked up, because I do feel there's extenuating circumstances. I think football's weird at the moment. I think Chelsea are a good team. They are a good team. It was mistakes, but once again, I'm not getting upset over mistakes, because as with the Liverpool title win, this is summed up to our season anyway. We know our defence is poor at the moment, unfortunately, and we know we have to fix that for next season, but we've not learned anything new from it. This team makes mistakes and lacks focus. It's got to have to change for next season if you want it to, but this is like a problem that's not new to us. Yep, we're still rusty defensively. Yep, thanks. I'm not going to have a breakdown over that, because what's new? We learned that. It's frustrating, definitely, but it's nothing new. Put it that way. It's not new info. As on to Mendy, a lot of people are fuming about him. I'm still on the fence with Mendy, and I say that from a position of hopeful reasoning. It's easy to go, fuck off, Mendy. It's very easy to say that, and you're very much entitled to say that, and maybe you're right. I honestly thought Mendy was playing pretty well until that moment, and I think last season, feels like last season, it's this season, bloody hell. Just before the lockdown, not last season. Just before the lockdown, I think Mendy was starting to find a bit of form, and I genuinely believe that to be true. And then obviously we had 3 months of disappearing and no football, and he's had 1 game back prior to this game. And he's not playing much football still. I still think he hasn't played loads of football, and he's going to be our first choice still for the rest of the season, because Guardiola needs to find out if he can find some stability, if he can get his confidence back, if he can cut those mistakes out. Because going forward, I actually thought there was some promising signs tonight. Like, one cross in particular was almost textbook stuff right across the face of the goal, the kind of thing that a striker should be there, tapping in at the back post. But there was no one there. And going forward, he did offer a bit of threat, but defensively there is mistakes in him. And the thing is now is, after 20-odd games, are those part of his game now? Or are they just still like him trying to learn how to adapt to this new kind of world that he's in? Or is it just the fact that he's still trying to get his fitness and sharpness back? His sharpness and his confidence back. Confidence is everything in football. It took Gundogan, bear in mind, a lot of people don't think Gundogan's very good now, but I still think he's a good squad player. But Gundogan was a lot worse when he initially came back after his injuries than he is now. He was a lot poorer. He's got better since then, and that took him a long time as well. It took him many months. So it remains to be seen with Mendy. I understand people's frustrations, but he's going to be our first choice left back, because we have to find out if we can get rid of those flaws. If not, no, it doesn't look good for him. It is frustrating, I admit. Sterling was quiet, unfortunately. Mahrez, I thought, was quiet as well, non-existent. De Bruyne couldn't really get into the shape of the game. I think largely him drifting into the middle, I don't think it really affected his game in a positive way. I think he looked a little bit confused about where he should be and what he should be doing, and I don't think it really worked, which is understandable. And who else? Rodri and Gundogan. Other than that, they passed the ball around really nicely. Defensively, we're all over the show a little bit, if I'm being honest. Eddie involved in that as well. A couple of sloppy back pass at one point. Sloppy pass, at one point. Mendy with a mistake. Was there mistakes other than that from Mendy? I don't think so. Zinchenko came on. Other than that, it was just kind of underwhelming. It was just a very Manchester City of this season performance, really. It's nothing new. It's just moments of brilliance with moments of ridiculousness. And we're going to have to get rid of that. I'm going to have to stamp it out. And fingers crossed next season we're a different Manchester City, because now Liverpool are champions and now we're going to have to give them the Guard of Honour. And it's deserved for them. They're a better team than us at the moment. They are the best team in the country. And we have to be better. We have to be better. I forgot to mention as well the lads on the bench, Palmer, Howard, Bellis, Doyle. It would have been lovely if this City team was competent and those lads got a chance to get on, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. Cole Palmer is a lovely addition. He's there because obviously he's very talented for one, but also because he's a local lad, so he can train with the first team. Palmer, I don't know much about him. He's very skillful, very graceful. I really like him. He captains the under-18s. He's a goal-scoring midfielder, glides past people for fun. Hopefully he can get his debut before the end of the season, because he deserves it. And he'd be there on merit, in my humble opinion, because he's a potential star as well. Under the radar a little bit, but he's genuinely been very, very impressive this season. But guys, it's hard to be too upset because it's expected. And hopefully now we beat Newcastle, we go through to the next round of the FA Cup, and all this today is washed away by the time we get to the Etihad and play Liverpool, who deservedly once again are champions. So congrats, genuinely, sincerely, congrats to the Liverpool fans that I know personally that are lovely. And there are some, contrary to popular belief. Some are dickheads, definitely. But there are some nice ones, and I know Free fans will be very happy tonight, so congratulations to them. Guys, likes, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff if you want to. Go down to One Football, it'll make me a very happy person, very happy Stephen, and I'll see you all tomorrow in a bit. Go and watch the Koulibaly video as well, which is even more prescient right now. I think we should sign Koulibaly, because we really fucking need him, that defence, everything to go by. In a bit.